Ukraine is raising alarms about the situation at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, the site of the world's worst nuclear disaster. Ukrainian officials say Russian forces disconnected the decommissioned facility from the power grid and called for a ceasefire in order to restore power. Ukraine's foreign minister says the plant has reserve diesel generators that can power it for 48 hours. But after that, the cooling systems for spent nuclear fuel stored there will stop, making radiation leaks imminent.
Ah, come on, Russia. Can you not mess around with a nuclear power plant? It's nuclear power. I mean, I want season 2 of Chernobyl, yes, but I also want to be around to watch season 2 of Chernobyl. Now, thankfully, the International Atomic Energy Agency says that there's no danger of a leak right now, which is good news right now. But I mean, regardless, Russia, what are you doing, huh? I mean, we're already dealing with one meltdown over here. The world doesn't need another one. And a Chernobyl disaster is bad news for you. Think about it. I mean, best case scenario, what happens if you screw this up, huh? A lot of Russians get sick. Worst case scenario, the radiation is going to create an army of mutant super Ukrainians. And right now, you can't even beat the regular ones, so is this a move you really want to make? Now, while all of this is taking place in Eastern Europe, the West is still trying to figure out how involved NATO should get in helping Ukraine fight off the Russian invasion. Because you see, so far, NATO has been sending a lot of weapons into Ukraine. They've been sending surface-to-air missiles, anti-tank missiles, rocket launchers, guns, ammo, some Legos for the Russians to step on, everything. And these weapons are all helping. But what Ukraine really wants, really wants, is some fighter jets, which apparently is a much trickier request.
The Biden administration racing to catch up to news that Poland is offering to provide used fighter jets, MiGs, that could ultimately be delivered to Ukraine. Multiple sources telling CNN that report initially caught U.S. officials completely off guard.
Poland said it would give Ukraine all of its MiG-29 jets, but transfer them to an American airbase in Germany. But the Pentagon said no, that it's too close to direct U.S. military involvement in the fight against Russia.
Okay, this is weird. This is really weird. Poland has offered Ukraine fighter jets, but they don't want to give the jets to Ukraine directly because then they will be in a direct war with Russia. So instead, they want to give the jets to America, and then America hands them to Ukraine. But then America doesn't want to do that because then they're fighting Russia directly. So now there's jets, and there's Ukraine, but nobody knows how to bring the two together. I'll be honest, I don't know why this is so complicated. I mean, you've just got to treat these jets like an old couch that you don't want anymore. Yeah, you just leave it on the sidewalk, and then if Ukraine happens to walk by and finds a jet, I mean, what's Poland got to do with it? Eh? Also, I don't know if it's just me, but it's weird that they're going through all these mental gymnastics here. Because even if Poland finds some sneaky way to get these planes to Ukraine, isn't Russia going to know where the planes came from? You told us on the news. Comrade, did you notice Poland offered Ukraine jets? Now Ukraine has Polish jets. How did that happen? Yeah, probably same way toast always lands butter side down, eh? Life is crazy. We'll never know. And this has been a tricky situation since the war started. How involved can NATO get without Russia turning on them? And I'll be honest, I get it. It is hard to figure out. You know, this is like the ultimate conundrum of life sometimes. Like the other day, I saw a mugging on the subway. And I'm not going to jump in to stop it because now that person is stabbing me. So instead, I said, hey, don't do that. And then I immediately jumped off the train and I ran away, which I think struck the right balance, you know?